Hey folks, welcome back to Let's Play The Reason I'm Still Single. I'm your host TPC Gamer, and in our last episode, the team was reunited and probably disbanded again because you're only really allowed to take 2 people into each level. Whoops! Although I mean, hell, what's Anna doing at this point? Just hanging back with a cup of tea? I mean, I suppose it's a standard issue you'll come across with any team-building exercise like in an RPG or whatever. You'll have your main team of 3 doing everything while the other 6 guys sit in the airship playing blackjack or whatever. Anyway, we picked up Beelzebub's gem. People love worshipping Beelzebub. Although, I mean, this one is a bit of a misnomer, I think, because Beelzebub is another name for Satan, and he already showed up maybe 5 levels ago. Your old hat, Satan. Step up your game. Whoa. That was pretty cool, though. I didn't know you could change the direction of your cool combo mid-jump. That's good to know. Since this is about the only time I consciously remember doing it, my 60+ hours of playtime. And I think it's telling that I put time and effort into learning this system over Zombie Hunters 2. Because this playthrough is looking a lot more technical, and I'm doing a lot better. It also helps that I learn how Saki's wrestling moves work. If you can get the timing right, then they can be more helpful than swinging your sword around. I mean, certainly funnier. Yeah, how'd that plan work out for you? Anyway, this stage is... honestly, it's something of a holding pattern. The next stage is a bit worse for it, but in this one there are a couple of arenas and a boss fight we've already seen. And I feel like it's kind of obvious the money was running out at this point, so they just sort of made do with what they had, you know? Although, trying to keep things a little fresh, however, I've turned on one of the secret options. You can change the blood colour to purple, like in the PS2 games, and as you can see in this stage, you can set it to white. I really don't know why they let you unlock the option to turn the blood white, to be honest, because it just looks like the monsters are all sick and congested, and I'm clearing their heads by spreading it all over the floor. I mean, I guess it's a developer's in-joke or something, because there's no reason I can think of why you'd want to have the hot, sticky white fluids running down your character's body. I mean, look at this. Does this remind you of anything? Me neither. Let's go. I am always perplexed as to why they ask if you want to use keys. Like, not just in this game, but in every other game that does that. Like, Resident Evil, I am looking at you now. Because if I don't use the key, then I can't proceed, and then I'm just stuck in that room trying to... I don't know, work out something meaningful to do in my time. Man, recycled enemies in this game? Those don't exist, that's just crazy talk. So, for this one, you're probably going to want to leave the twins alone and focus on the other guy. Fleg, I think his name is. Because he's got the long-range attacks, and he can do that instant transmission nonsense. And I am taking a kicking. Jeez. So, for this fight, it also helps to not be doing a Let's Play, so you don't have to worry about talking and looking cool for the camera. You can just dodge properly and attack without mercy. Alright, I'm going to take that guy's arms off so I don't need to worry about him attacking me, and do this ecstasy thing. I'm not going to kill anyone, because everyone's with a little more than half of their health, but it will certainly help. And now back to Saki. You know, I don't know if I mentioned this yet. It probably would have helped if I did. When your character has blue bars in their health bar, that is health that will be recovered when they are not active. It's like tagging in your teammates in the Marvel vs. Capcom games. And now it's just you and me. And thankfully one of the twins is the last man standing. One-on-one, he's not really got much to be concerned about. But, you know, like the unique guy likes to teleport all over the place, so he's the one you're going to want to worry about in this situation. Oh damn, it's that guy! Still didn't feel like properly setting up the rigging in your hand? That's okay, it happens to the best of us. Now this is one of the hardest fights in the entire game, probably second only to the final boss run. You are worn down, you are bloodied, most likely berserk from the previous fights. You probably used up a lot of your healing items because you thought you could go back and grind for some more. And then the game throws this at you. What a jerk! In terms of how he plays, he's just like the last time we saw him, except he's a little tougher and he has a lot more health. They sped him up too, but they did it in a really weird way. Like, they just sped up his animations so he can look pretty comical at times. Like what I would have done, I would have removed some of the wind-up animations or whatever. And I have only just noticed how close to death I am, so let's not let that happen. I told you this guy was the first major threat in the game. I mean, the fact that he's got giant zombies backing him up, that really doesn't help either. Man, Saki cocking a head like that is just perfect. You know, it makes that animation. And like a lot of things, it's a cute little attention to detail that you wouldn't expect someone to have put in there. Oh yeah, I'm being cocky when I just killed her brother. Awkward. Also, these subtitles kind of ruin it. Just write what the sound is, you guys. Yep, that's how people die. But on the plus side, he leaves behind the refreshing pine scent. But on the other hand, he did ask for a new car, so whatever. Tell you what though, you can always count on me to ruin the mood. That or the game's lack of pacing. Alright, you get that, and you can have that. Why is this chapter called The Final Path when there are clearly 2 level markers afterwards? Why was the picture for the final path taken from the opening cutscene? Why am I asking so many rhetorical questions in an odd voice instead of just killing stuff? I don't know. So let's talk about Jesus, camera, calm down. Let's talk about mythology. Probably noticing a theme right about now, but Asmodeus, the gem we just picked up, he's one of the princes of Hell, along with Mammon, Beelzebub, Astaroth, and the other gems that we picked up. Except for the Leviathan. The Leviathan is just a gigantic monster. And I don't know why, but I love the term and concept of the Leviathan. It's like, we don't know what it is, and we don't have a name for it. It's just a huge water thing. Because, like, even if you don't know what it involves, Leviathan is a word that sounds like something you don't want to mess with. You know, it's the word version of the biohazard symbol. And I think I should have changed the blood back to red, because this is looking pretty ridiculous. It's also ridiculous that they're using the same kind of pounding techno as the backing music. I would have cut the sad cutscene from the end of the last level, and you'd have no idea... Yeah, I'm not dealing with you guys. And you would have no idea that anything was missing if I had cut that thing out. Personally, I would sooner have used some sort of slow music for the backing for this level. But with that said, I'm in love with slow, melancholic music behind bombastic fighting scenes like this. And I am bad at this today. That's what I get for taking the lazy way out, I guess. Jeez. Alright, let's focus, do this again. And that was not the button combination I wanted to push. Way to stumble right out of the starting gates, you know? No. There you go! There is a bracelet that you can get that slows down the timing for the special attacks like that. The cool combos and also other little bits and pieces like that. But you have to do a full 15-hit cool combo in order to unlock it. If I could do that, I wouldn't need it. Oh, and that is not cool, spawning in front of me after I do something that amazing. I don't know how I managed to tear out of the heart of the guy behind me. Whatever, let's not knock it because it's worked. That didn't work, though. I like how I can successfully pull off the hard thing now I don't need to do it on the dog enemies which are immune to it. Oh, and we're done. Well, thank goodness that Aya helped me. And that one wasn't a loading screen. Damn, usually I've got like 30 seconds to think of something else to talk about and grab a drink, but now I have to kind of do something on the fly. You know, I was kind of worried that this would happen later in the level, but not now. And you'll see why when we get to it. It's one of the problems of doing an entire game in a single run. I mean, I forget if I mentioned that at any point in these videos. I have 5 or 6 projects on the run at various stages of completion, but I have to want to work on them. I can't write unless I want to write. I can't program unless I want to program or whatever. And right now, I want to sit down and record the entirety of Onechanbara in one go. Don't laugh, because you're here too. Now, we've been funneled into this arena to... well, design-wise, it's to extend the puzzle chain and add another few minutes to the length of the level. But this entire level is kind of like the boss fight from the previous one. A means of draining your items just to make the next thing even tougher. Oh, no, you don't. I saw you trying to get in a hit with that chainsaw. You don't get away with that. Okay, so something I have noticed a couple times throughout this. I'm pretty certain that the zombies will, on occasion, make the same groaning noise as the zombies in Minecraft. I mean, maybe it's a public domain noise, maybe there's only so many ways a guy can groan and make it sound unique, but those guys right there, Minecraft sounds. And did you see that right there? I love how you can juggle enemies by bouncing them off the walls. It reminds me very much of something I've been saying for a very long time. I want to see a current generation, whatever that means at this point, a current generation version of Comic Zone. Because I love that game. And it's about the first game I can think of that introduced me to destructible scenery. Like, the whole game took place inside a living comic book, and you could slam your enemies into and ultimately through the edges of the panels to reach new areas and items. It was great. Oh, and you've probably noticed I'm being a bit stingy with my healing items. Personally, I don't like to use them very often, and I only use them when there's a replacement available on the floor. Just like in real life. And now we have the Golden Crest. And the Golden Crest is another item from the Bible, and it symbolizes when game designers decide to stop looking up names of demons on Wikipedia and just go, sod it, Golden Crest. Like anyone's paying attention to anything other than the girls in this thing, right? I think the Bible was awfully prophetic to have picked up on that. Now, good news and bad news. Good news, only one more arena fight in the whole game. The bad news, it's a hell of an arena fight. I've got notes in front of me that give a basic guide through each stage, and for this particular arena it reads, a long car park from No More Heroes 2 arena fight. So I'm going to get myself healed up and purified so that I'm ready for this and just throw myself right into it. And maybe try to pretend that I didn't just charge screaming into entirely the wrong room prepared for the brawl. Alright, here we go. So, if you've ever played No More Heroes 2, you'll know about the car park. It's a brawl where dudes just keep on spawning in. There's hundreds of them. Like, the car park brawl lasts longer than some of the earlier levels, and it's just a prelude to the actual action. And how did I go from a V rank to a C rank? And to that end, why is V rank the highest? wonder if some of the staff in this game worked on Beautiful Joe. Not that it matters, because I love seeing how different games deal with hit combos and the ranks that it awards you. Like, one of my favourites is Gungrave Overdose, which uses beats per minute. Or, I like the latest Devil May Cry, which uses... what is it? Sick, Savage, and Sadistic? It's an interesting thing to think about. Oh! I was excited because I almost had the full combo going. That would have been cool. I do feel a little bad, because Saki's cool combo finishes with a kind of dopey looking downward thrust. I mean, you've probably seen it a bunch throughout the videos, but it would have looked better, to me, to have her bring the blade down sideways rather than downwards. Alright, now we're done. Oh, wait, no we're not. We've got like 4 more rounds yet. Yeah, we're in this for the long run, you guys. Although something I do like about this arena, especially when using Saki, you can pretty much just fire blind and you are guaranteed to hit something. Like, there's another character, part of the DLC pack, and they have a blade beam that fans out, and it's just wonderful in this stage, because you can just hit the entire room in a single run. And there, that attack. You see that? That looks silly to me. And it could have been vastly improved by just angling the sword a little differently. But it's too late now. The game's never getting patched. And it's never been patched. It's a 2009 launch. And now, in 2014, when I come to record it, the game hasn't been updated. It's just running however it did when it shipped. AAA games can't do that. Man, I'm kicking ass now. Look at that. And I'm about to go berserk. So, you know what? I'm going to use that to my advantage and show off what happens when you do. With this blood right here. Okay, a little bit of an awkward angle. But yes, this is Rampage mode. You can't use items to get out of this. You have to go to a holy statue or die. Like, you can't heal out of it on your own. It's probably for the best, because I'm pretty sure Mudmen show up sooner or later. And it helps to be able to just cut them down without thinking, rather than have to time it with a stinger or whatever. It is kind of a dick move putting Mudmen at this point, I find. If they did, anyways. Because you're going to be tired and worn down. You're not going to have it entirely with you to do all the awkward half-beat attacks. And it's a shame, because I feel this arena, it lets the game down in terms of the difficulty settings. The enemies have gotten tougher throughout, and they've tried to keep things tough but fair. And you get to this point, and there's no real difficulty added. They're just throwing more enemies at you to block your progress. It's the kind of thing that, again, going back to AAA games, when they do that, everybody slates them for it. You know, so why couldn't you aspire to more little shovelware that could? No matter, because I think we're done now. And we are. Okay, now it's just a final run down this corridor to the end of the stage. There's no need to tag out Saki. We are losing health pretty steadily, but given how healthy I am, I'm going to be okay. And yes, we've seen all this before, let's move it along. Alrighty, so that's the final path completed. Join us next time for whatever mysteries could possibly come afterwards. And until next time, goodbye.